That's right here. What? Well, I want them to see the slides. Yeah. Yeah, they're competition first weekend. All right, what do you say on your screen? What do you see on the screen? Hey, okay. All right, cool. So, well, thank you guys for waking up and coming on Saturday. So we're gonna go over. This is actually really good because it's just you guys, so we can make it way more specific. And the 600 or 700 people who signed up, they get the information, but it wasn't as specific as it could have been for them. So we're going to talk about kind of our background and journey to where we are now. Where basically, like, Alkin's been getting ready for the March week, and he has to lose 25 pounds, and it's just awkward. Like, okay, hey, here's the weight that you need to be at for the competition. Okay, this is the change we're going to be there on March. So it's very simple. The four main areas that we're going to talk about is what are the roadblocks why people fail at this, or struggle forever, basically. What should you be eating? That's kind of like the science of everything. And the role of activity and cardio. And then lastly, bestly, is we're going to make that game plan. So we're going to break that up into 2 phases. So we're going to make a specific 90-day plan for you guys. And then we're going to make a year-long periodized plan. So basically, people are set in this like fat loss only phase, but they do that forever. And fat loss, as it says, it should be a phase. Once you're out of it, you should be living life and doing what you want to do, and not constantly thinking about calories and this and that. And I think that's an important thing to discuss and put into a practical plan. So I actually let Alvin start with his journey and his background.
Okay, so I've actually been, when I talk about my background, I always tell people not very many people grew up like I did. So I came in from the Philippines at age 6. I had asthma, and I had a very rough time just running as a kid, or like walking and having intense activity, like playing any sport. So what the doctor told me, or what told my parents at that time, was I could develop my lungs better and stronger. And so there was a way to do it. Just, I was young enough so that my body could adapt, right? So that's what I did. I would start off with walking or running towards the driveway. My parents made me do that. I did that every day, and it evolved into like running around the block, and then eventually my love for running for the next 10 years. So track and field, cross country, endurance running. And so growing up, throughout the years, I was very active, but I was also very weak, because I was endurance running, and after high school, first year of college, I was 19 and at 115 pounds. So I couldn't lift anything. I actually went to a gym for the first time at 19, like a regular 24-hour fitness gym. And I lifted an empty barbell, and then I put 45 pounds on it, thinking like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get this, right? And then I take it off the rack, and then it got stuck on my chest. And it's funny because all these experiences are what led us to eventually led us to build up this place. So I got into strength training, bodybuilding, physique for the next 4 years. And 2 years after that, I got into CrossFit and then met this guy and got into Olympic weightlifting, and then eventually training for Warriors, general strength training, and then now into powerlifting. So a few months away from attempting a world record, and there you have it. That's my experience, and been helping everyone else along the way. So.
My story is very similar. I was super weak and skinny my whole life, and the people that I looked up to were Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Lee, and I don't know why. I just wanted to be like them. So
Everyone wanted to be like them.
Everyone wanted to be like them. So, you know, so I played basketball my entire life, and I was able to play competitively. I played high school and college because I could shoot. Yeah, I could run around and I wouldn't get tired, and I was smart. So, but every time I stepped onto the court, I was like the weakest guy. If somebody did this, or if they even looked at me, I would be like, I would lose my balance, right? But it was literally after 9 years of attempting to get stronger, get a six-pack. Like I was obsessed with getting a six-pack. From like 13, 14-ish till like 21, 22, I had nothing to show for it. I really spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of time. I was just frustrated. And then on top of that, the being super weak and playing as much as I did led to a lot of back problems and other injuries as well. And so the reason I started to get into working out was because I wanted to stop myself from back pain. So I talked to this guy who was and I started working out there. My back pain disappeared as I got stronger. And then all of a sudden, I got abs for the first time in my life. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But even then, those first like 3 years or 4 years where I had results, I didn't really understand what was going on and why it worked. I just was like, and I went through everything. So this was way back in the day. I did what everybody, so now everybody's talking about keto. I did keto. I did intermittent fasting. I did, you know, the warrior diet. So I did all of these different things, paleo, back in the day. And one thing I found was like they all worked. Every single one worked. And one of the simplest ones that I did was, and we would do this all the time, was like we would just eat meat and vegetables, like, and everywhere we went, we would go to In-N-Out, we would just get like 12 patties and like lettuce, and they would look at us like we're crazy, but it worked. Like because they're, you know, now, and we'll get into like why it works, but we were doing the right stuff, being in calorie deficit for that specific goal. To, you know, where I eventually I wanted to know, like, why is this actually happening? So that's when I hired my first coach back in the day. I went through some shitty coaches, but then I hired my coach, who's one of the best in the world at what he does. And that's where I really began to learn all of the stuff that actually matters. I remember I have the first email where he told me, he's like, all right, I need you to eat, I think it was 225 grams of carbs per day. And at that time, I still thought carbs would make me fat. And I emailed him back, and he's like, shit, I'll do it, but I'm telling you, I think I'm going to get fat. that would happen. So it's been a long, continuous journey of education and learning. And the good thing is that you come to realize and understand you can make it happen no matter what age you are, no matter what background you've gone through, what stuff you've had happen to your body physically, medically, whatever stuff has happened, you can make it. You can make the change that you want. Like we've seen it with ourselves. We've seen it with, I want to say, like in the last 8 years or so, since we've been like, and then 6 years here, like probably close to maybe a little bit more than 1,000 people. So it's really cool to see that the only reason that people don't achieve what goal they have in their mind is because somewhere in there there's a thought that says it's not possible. And that really sums up everything. Like if you don't think that it's possible, it's not going to happen. So that's a little background. I think it'd be real cool to get a quick background from you guys too.
So I pretty much always grew up with acting, and I had strength from being big, but I really never developed true body strength. One of the things that really came to me probably last year, especially around kind of core strength, talk about core strength a lot, is the fact that you're always told to suck it in, right? But core strength is about pushing out, right? And so I never really learned that concept of what core strength was because I was always told, oh, you need to small up by sucking in, and that doesn't really develop core. And so, I played rugby for a lot, I injured with rugby a lot. And then I moved up, to about 4 or 5, and I did this, and I went through it. So, personal trainer, and serious diet, but it was a serious diet. It was restrictive, it worked. There were days I didn't eat the food I had a good steak, did a couple of triathlons, here in my 30s, ran a couple of marathons. The first one went down to 190 pounds. Running, so it still wasn't very strong, but it was not weight. For me, I had a lot of injuries, so when I first came here, I told you, I'm not going to do nothing like this. I didn't have to the motivation, to the focus, and really working around. I was always waiting for something, developed strength, so through that. And then, for me, I raised physically, emotional eating, and stress, and self-belief. Being in an environment for a long time where that's so the last couple of years, listening to all of that, mixing around being here, running, that's but I still find myself down, so back
I was raised in South Korea. We didn't have too many vegetables. It was very protein and heavy diet and sweet. So I was always trying to get myself in shape, whatever that meant. And after children, I always liked it. So many times anywhere between 5 and 8 miles used to be 10 with one marathon, many pounds, all at the same time, and combine it with yoga once or twice a week, and the SPX class, which is kind of Pilates with combined with. And watching for the kid and trying to keep my weight down. It's always been a challenge as I get older. It takes a lot more to control but that's just to work fast, don't work fast.
That's good. We're going to talk about that. That's good.
Yeah, so in general, trying to stay healthy and active and not concentrated, not grow on the scale, but just feeling healthy. But also every year trying to get ready for the summer season that is the same thing.
Totally. Those are really. I'm glad that you said all those things because we're gonna talk about all of those things. So first and foremost,
How long would you live in Siberia? How long would you live in Siberia?
I came to America once a year when I was 19,
Okay.
so most of my life.
Yeah.
so I think that's a great place to start. And kind of the overarching big picture thing, because we had so many conversations. It's really interesting that you mentioned what you were told all the time was, "Oh, suck it in," and so that thought kind of carried over throughout the vast majority of your life. And so, having had so many conversations with so many people, one of the biggest things that we found that prevents people from making this easy and like fun is that they don't make it about fun. That's so important. Like this whole thing needs to be relaxed and fun. And you can have goals that you want to strive towards, but if you're like this about them, it's not gonna happen. But if you're relaxed and like, yes, it's so much fun, then they happen. So we're gonna talk about one of the big things first is the brain's role in bad habits, right? And so this is a little bit of the science part of it. So there's a part of the brain called the RAS that stands for the reticular activating system. Have you guys ever had an experience where you never saw a particular car on the street and then you buy that car, or you buy a car and then you see that car everywhere, right? Have you had that experience where maybe you're standing in like a crowd of a lot of people and then you can't really hear anything, but then out of all the noise you hear your name, right? So what is going on? Why does that happen? Another thing is like, sometimes people say the worse it gets, the worse it gets. Like, what is going on? So the reticular activating system is sort of like a gatekeeper of all of the input that you get, right? So where do you get your input? Into your brain, into your body. Where are the inputs that you get from your senses? So what you see, what you hear, what you touch, taste, smell, and then there's a lot of other senses that you could discuss: temperature, space, so on and so forth. But basically, any piece of information that comes into your body has to go through the RAS. Because the reason why is because if there was no gatekeeper and you were flooded with all of the information that is coming, right, what would happen? You couldn't make decisions, and so you become preemptive process. So the RAS works in this way, where it goes, it says what is important to Brett, what is important to this person, and then based off of that, it will allow information in, right? So when you bought that car that you never saw before in the street, you see it everywhere, you had been thinking about it for weeks. You had been talking about it. You searched it up on Google 50,000 times. You went to that dealership. The RAS doesn't care what you decide is what's to be important to you. All it cares about is what are you constantly thinking about? What's the constant thought or words coming out of your mouth? And says, okay, this is important. Let's let all that information in regarding that subject. Same things like if you have a baby, that baby is extremely important to you, right? And that's why maybe you used to be a deep sleeper, but if you hear your baby crying, like immediately you wake up because your RAS, where in the past maybe it wouldn't have let that through and you could have slept there in an earthquake. But now, this is very important because you're constantly thinking about it. It allows that information through. So that's the biggest thing. So when this is why it's so important when we talk about what are you, why do we need to focus on winning? Why do we need to focus on gratitude right here? It's because you're constantly thinking about wins and gratitudes and things that make you feel good is going to allow your RAS to start recognizing, oh, this is important. This is important. And it will filter more information that validates whatever it is that you're trying to do. So somebody who's constantly like, man, it's so hard, it's like, it's just, you know, as I gotten older, as this happens, that person will never achieve what goal that they think they have. Because they're telling their RAS, hey, this is important to me. And like we said, the RAS doesn't care what you decide is important. It operates the same. So, you know, another thing that you can maybe relate to is like if you know anybody who's always just talking about and lose this sucks, the economy sucks, the weather sucks, the car sucks, traffic sucks. You notice this person, everything just sucks for this person, right? And so that person's life will never improve. And you know, I'm sure you've known people that pretty much stayed the same, and that's been their attitude forever, right? And so nothing will change for them until they bring awareness to that and they decide to start focusing on things that are different, right? So it's like there's this story where a guy is sitting at an old man sitting in front of a gate in this walled city, and a traveler comes in and he says, I'm moving here from this other city. How are the people like here? And he says, how are the people like in your city? And he says, oh, they were terrible. It was just, you know, everybody was dishonest, nobody was nice, everybody was rude, there's just terrible people. He's like, yeah, they're about the same here. Another man comes from another city and says to the old man, it's like, oh, how's the city? How are the people here? It's like, how was it where you came from? It's like, people were very nice, you know, it was a great city, I had a lot of fun, I had a lot of great people. He's like, it's the same here. The point being, you will get what you choose to focus on. And if you accept that, everything changes for you. The only thing with that is that it requires practice, because our tendency being around society and people is to focus on the negative, right? So I forget the exact number, but I think it was like 68,000 thoughts per day. There's some number, 68,000 thoughts per day, and like 90% of them are negative. A person has that many thoughts a day, 90% of them are negative. The cool thing is like you can begin to shift that ratio around, and then your life completely changes. Whether it's around a particular subject or your life in general. So that part is extremely important. And like the science of fat loss, which we'll get into and like the details, that's all great, whatever. But this is the piece that everyone misses. Because if you don't get this, you go from diet to diet to diet to exercise program to exercise program, and nothing ever. Any thoughts on that?
It's at the end of the day, Arya, is very simple. It's your choice. Everyone has a choice how to think, the good or the bad, right? Just like good versus evil. So it's your choice and which way to go and what to surround yourself with. So always focus on what you can control, and you'll learn that you'll be able to control a lot of things. Right?
Yeah. And also feel free, like any thoughts or comments on that, feel free to chime in. One of the practical points of this is like, you guys ever had a long day and like it's been like a stressful day, all kinds of stuff, family, work, whatever. How, I don't know, maybe you've never had that experience.
Haven't had it in the past 12 hours.
But how much more difficult is it to make the decision of, oh, I'm going to exercise, or I'm going to make some healthy food, or I'm going to make the right decision for nutrition and training when you're feeling crappy? What about when you're feeling good and you're laughing and you're having fun? How much easier is it to make that decision?
When I have a bad day, I usually try to go for a walk or go to yoga because I know I
It'll
will change my
make you
state.
feel better. That's very important. And that's another place that if you have time. So see, that's another thing. If you recognize and you're able to be like, okay, I'm not feeling good, but if I do this, I'll feel better. That's another area that a lot of people don't ever reach that point because they'll just feel like, I feel like
Oh,
shit.
I can have this chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love chocolate. Makes you feel good all the
Yes,
time.
chocolate every day.
Every single day. So that's why the mood part is very important. So one primary goal in your fat loss journey is keep making yourself feel good. So if you notice yourself like, oh man, I feel like shit, I have to eat this or I have to do this, then we need to like take time out and we need to step back and then put ourselves in a good mood before we start making a decision. Forcing yourself to do something is not gonna last. It never does. The other thing is like, you've heard about the Pygmalion effect, which is basically it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. So they've done studies where they take these kids in a class setting, and they split up the groups, and they go, hey, these guys are really smart, and they treat them that way. They give them extra help. They're very excited. These guys are bad students. You guys don't get the same help. They treat them differently. They became self-fulfilling prophecies by those kids did get better grades. These kids did get worse grades, even though maybe before they started the experiment, they were, it was equally across the board. And maybe you had bad students that who started to perform well because the teachers told them, hey, you're a great student, So the self-fulfilling prophecy from somebody else is great, which is why we're always like, always build other people up because you're contributing to somebody else's Pygmalion effect. But more importantly than that, because it's not your job to fix everybody else, is to work the Pygmalion effect of yourself. You will get it. So one thing I've noticed, since I've known Alj, one of the big ones that stuck out way back in the day was like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna overhead squat, whatever, like more than Matt. Matt's here.
He's over there.
He's over there, yeah. So he had a ridiculous overhead squat. Overhead squat is you take a barbell and then you squat it like this. And so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then like 6 weeks later,
And then the whole story is Matt goes like, you'll never beat my overhead squat. Because he saw it in his overhead squat, it's like 100 pounds more than mine. And he's like, you'll never get it. And then, yeah, so
6 weeks later.
it was 4 months. I took 3 to 4 months just focusing on overhead squat. And I was like, hey Matt, let's go test our overhead squat now. And then he topped out at like 225, 230, and I went to 260. So
for multiple reps.
For multiple reps.
But the point that's very important from that, besides 265 overhead squat is very impressive, but is from the moment that Matt had said that, he already had decided.
I decided I was going to beat him.
And so you will get what you think about. Same thing with powerlifting. And same thing, maybe you've also noticed this in your life. There's certain things that you had without a doubt, like, hey, this is going to happen. And it happened. So we're good. We are doing this all the time. So why not do it deliberately, right? And in the areas that you want to improve. You know, for us, the same thing with this place. You're like, hey, this is going to work. This is what it's going to be, and then it's become that.
So changing your language helps. I'm glad you shared, like, you know, I'll go to yoga, makes me feel good if I have time. But if you change that, if language is so powerful, if you start with yourself and then start practicing it with others, like with each other, you know, significant other, it helps a lot. Instead of if I have time, when I have time today, or I'm going to make time today. That's so much stronger than if I have time. Because if you go like, I'm going to make time today, I'm going to make time today, it will happen, right? Throughout your day, that's where your focus is.
Yeah.
Because we all have everyone has busy lives, right? Especially with kids. I can't wait to have kids, hopefully. Not hopefully. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have kids next year. Next year for sure. Next year. And then I'm trying to turn it, what was that? Just what? Oh, hell yes. Yeah. And we're trying to push for this year. But now I also want to go, I'm going to have a son. I'm going to have a son as my first kid. But we'll see if that's going to work out there.
So the language, like I said, it's very important because what are you doing? You're instructing your RAS.
Yes.
So, you know, and all of this goes back like if the language that you're using is making you feel bad, then you're less likely to do that. Now, the one little thing with this whole part is it can take some practice making this happen because sometimes people think, oh, so you're just like faking it or you're just ignoring reality or, you know, you're delusional, whatever. There's two ways that you learn. One of them is through, you know, being around and seeing. So from ages, you know, when you're born to like you're 7, what all your beliefs that you learn are from people around you. And after that, it becomes difficult for people to bring in new beliefs. But the way to bring in new beliefs, the second way of changing a belief is what? Repetition. So we have that, and if we know that, we can use that. And a thing about beliefs, this is by far the best definition of beliefs that I ever heard. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. That's it. So if you stop thinking it, and you don't need to stop thinking it, leave it there. If you begin to think about something else and just keep thinking about that using repetition, this belief disappears by itself, rather than forcing against it, right? Because forcing things never works. All right. So, getting into the science. So this is about the metabolism portion. And what is the metabolism? Because most people don't even know what the metabolism is. And most people think it's a static thing. Even if, you know, what are some things that people attribute metabolism to? Like, what is your metabolism?
So one thing they attribute to is their genetics.
Genetics.
Genetics is a big one, yeah.
I was born this one.
Age. Gender. Lifestyle. So you guys said activity level and lifestyle, those actually have an impact on metabolism, but people kind of just assign themselves, this is my metabolism because I'm this age, I'm this gender, these are my parents. Cool thing is, those things don't matter. And metabolism is a fluid thing. It goes up and down based on your lifestyle. And so understanding what it's made up of is very important. So we're going to talk about what is the metabolism, what are the components of metabolism. So basically, there's other things we can break it down to, but the three big categories are your resting rate of metabolism, which is what amount of calories or food are required for you to exist at this weight. So if you did nothing, how many calories are required for you to keep this weight? Because if you've ever seen like prisoners of war or people in third world countries where they're not getting any food, right? Like they're literally starving. What happens to them? They waste away. So what about people who
they're not working out?
Yes.
Right?
They're not doing exercise. What about people who are constantly eating? They get bigger. So your weight requires a certain amount of calories to maintain, right? So let's say for me, I know my maintenance or this part of the equation, by the way, this part of the equation accounts for 60 to 75% of your total metabolism. So the biggest chunk of your metabolism is just based on how big you are, right? If I know that my maintenance is 2,000 calories, right? If I eat less than 2,000 calories, I begin to shrink and become smaller. If I consistently eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories, which is in our beautiful time, is easy to do, right? It's so easy to do because I can go to McDonald's and for $5, I can get. I think that would be an interesting experiment. How many calories can you get for $5 at McDonald's? I would be willing to bet you probably get like 4,000 calories. So, going back to the other slide, is like that's a beautiful thing. That's not a bad thing. People were dying, and people still are because there wasn't food. So we could choose to look at this as good or bad. But I know this part of my equation is 2,000 calories. Cool. So if I eat more, I'll gain weight. If I eat less, I'll lose weight. This part, the thermic effects of food, accounts for about 10%, and that just means digesting. So digesting food requires calories, and so that is 10%.
That's only 10%.
Yeah, and so some people are like, well, if you eat more food, it's like an increase in the thermic effect of food. Not really. It's only going to be 10%. And by the way, protein has the highest thermic effect. So that's another reason why we want to always focus on protein, amongst a lot of other reasons. But protein has a higher thermic effect, more than carbs and fat. The last thing is the thermic effect of exercise. So that's your activity and your lifestyle, which is 100% in your control, right? So I can choose to walk more, I can choose to exercise, I can choose to sit on the couch. That's a decision. So that accounts for, depending on the person, again, from like 15 to 25%.
Yeah, perfect.
So these are the components. What?
And just to clarify, thermogenesis is just your body's ability to generate heat. That's what your body does to maintain you, right? To live. Okay. So all of the food that we eat is to do all of that, which are the three, like the rest of metabolic rate, to generate heat, right? And then the thermic effect of food, and then the thermic effect of exercise, which we're going over right now.
So, any questions on any of that?
I feel very safe.
So at first, you're going to get into calories and things like
So the big thing that I really want you guys to take away is, your metabolism is all dependent on the genetic side of it. So we have a guy who worked for 23andMe for the last 8 years, and he was like on the inside, on the engineers, and he's like, I have conversations with him about it all the time, and I'm always talking to people, they're like, oh, genetics and blah, blah, I'm like, I'm an Indian, 5'11", 160 pounds. I'm not supposed to, according to my genetics, nobody else in my family is doing this, doing the physical things that I'm doing. Why? Because genetics plays such a small part of that. And so they found that it, at most, and this is like a very generous guess, genetics plays a 10% role, right? At most. So they're not even sure about that. So that means they found people with the sprinter genes, right, who are obese and they don't look like they've done anything in their life. And then they've seen people who don't have the sprinter gene and they're in amazing shape. So the genes, as far as I'm concerned, it's and you gotta ask yourself, do you really want to be defined by something that it's not, you can't do anything about it. But side note to that, according to epigenetics, which is the latest research on genes and genetics, is your genes aren't static either. They change based on lifestyle and thought. So it's a lot of amazing things that they're kind of discovering. And I always think that science is playing catch up to what people have figured out over however many thousands of years. So the next thing we're going to talk about is training. And so I think one of the interesting things that I always hear is like people will say, and people will say this to me too, but particularly for algae, it's like, oh, you can eat whatever you want, you can eat 8,000 calories and blah blah blah. And so the interesting thing is they don't understand that in order to build a machine that burns 3,000 calories a day, it took a little bit of time. Like it took a few years of building that machine through this, right? That now requires that much fuel. It's like saying, like, if you can sit there and build an engine, and within like a week you could build a Prius engine, which doesn't require a lot of fuel, or you could build a Ferrari engine or a jet engine, which is going to require way more fuel, right? But it's going to take you some time. It's like, well, I don't want to take that time and I don't want to do that work. So, but I'm going to complain that I'm not the Ferrari, I'm the Prius. Well, you're not building the Ferrari. You got to take that time. And so, as far as training goes, it doesn't matter in regards to what do you want to weigh, right? Because like we talked about the starving people, you can stop eating. You will lose all your weight. Just starve yourself. You will lose all the weight. We don't obviously recommend that. We just put a moderate calorie deficit and you lose the body fat. But the shape of your body is also going to be determined by your training. So training is not going to burn a ton of calories, but it is going to determine how you look, right? So something that I was afflicted with for a long time was being skinny fat. So if you don't use the proper training, basically any type of strength training, it doesn't matter what it is, are we doing body weight, are we doing weights, that doesn't matter. As long as you're performing strength training, you will be building muscle and changing the shape of your body, right? The thing with that, like we talked about, is muscle takes some time to grow. Everyone's always concerned about, I'm going to get bulky, or I put on the thing that is hilarious is people say, I put on muscle really easy. No, you don't. It is an extremely time-consuming process physiologically. So nobody puts on muscle really easily. Even the people who are really muscular don't put on muscle really easily. So that's why the thing to think about as far as training goes is be patient and don't ever stop. It doesn't really matter what you do, just show up 2, 3, 4 times a week, every week, and just do something where you're exerting yourself, because your brain doesn't care what you want to look like, right? Your brain only cares about what are you doing. Your body only cares about the stimulus, and then it reacts.
So you got to create that demand for what you want your body to look like. That's it. So, but your body doesn't care what she looks like. You just have to create a demand for you to change. That's it. You just can't do nothing.
Well, you can do nothing. Just don't expect
To look,
changes. Yeah.
to look
You
good.
expect the changes you want to.
Right.
You will get changes.
You'll get
Always changes.
So back to like just to circle it back. People always feel like Algae around your room. Oh man, you guys can lose weight so easily, right? So it's so easy for you to lose weight. And I wish we could. I wish I could have that. And I go like this. If they tell that to me specifically, I was like, hey dude, I switch with you. If you can lift 600 pounds, here you go. That's all you gotta do, right? That's all I say. But now, so are you willing to work to lift 600 pounds so that you can keep everything that you want to? Like, then people go like, no, I don't want to lift 600 pounds. And that's fine. So you got to work a little. You work a little less. Not so much the same goal, but you still got to work, right? That's all.
And that's the cool thing is like, if you don't have, this is another thing that stops people. They think you have to lift 600 pounds.
Correct.
You don't. You just have to lift whatever is within your reach. And over time, you're reaching a little bit. That's it. So, people very frequently like, well, yeah, I don't want to. They have their own thoughts already, like, oh, you train every day, you train 3 hours a day, which are also not true. It doesn't require a lot of time to build strength, like, in terms of like workout sessions per day or week. So it's important. It's the consistency. You don't need to do anything to lose weight. You just need to eat less. But the point is that do you want to lose weight and just, or do you want to look a certain way? Losing weight, you will lose not just fat, you'll also lose muscle. And when you lose muscle, you turn into a stick, and you still have belly fat because that's usually the last thing to go. You're gonna get rid of your muscle first. You're gonna look shittier, right? According to what everyone wants to look like, they want a shapely figure. You're gonna look worse because you're getting rid of the muscle, which gives you the shape. So the reason for strength training is to maintain muscle and build new muscle so you have shape. Weight loss happens regardless of training. Like Alger pointed out, prisoners of war aren't doing training when they've lost all their weight, right? Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? And we'll come back to like how cardio plays into that as well. Any other questions about that? So as far as training goes, the most important thing you can do is incorporate some type of strength training, right? Which what you do when you come here, so you don't got to worry about that. And simplicity is always the name of the game. I talk to so many people. We know a lot of really smart people, and I'm glad for the work that they do because it's important to us. But it always boils down to simple things like it doesn't matter what program you do. It doesn't matter what type of lift you're doing. All that matters is your consistency and showing up and doing some type of strength work.
What do you mind besides weight?
So body weight, TRX stuff, band work, anything where your muscles have to resist something, that's strength training. It depends on how you do it. Certain yogas, yes. If you're doing a yoga where you're way more like just trying to relax, that's not going to be strength training, right? Yeah, so it depends. And so here's the only difference between strength training and like other types of strength training. This just speeds up the process. The reason why is because for me to do the amount of work to cause the change that I want, like I want to build muscle, I want to look a certain way. If I was just doing push-ups and air squats and yoga, it's going to take me a long time and a lot of time daily. Versus I can just load up a bar because I don't weigh a lot, right? Or even if I weigh more, it's a lot faster. It's more than 200 pounds on the bar. Right? So does that make sense? It's just a more efficient. It's not right or wrong, it's your choice. Maybe you really enjoy yoga and body weight. Beautiful. And if you're having more fun doing that because you can do it anywhere and it's enjoyable, you don't need anything, then you should do that. And you're gonna get good results. You're gonna get tremendous results if you do it. Right? If you want more efficient results or faster, you want more changes to your amount of muscle on your body, then there's a reason why. Who's the most muscular people in the world? Bodybuilders. What methods do they use? And so this is important. Always look at who's doing the stuff and how they're doing it. Don't listen to people. Don't listen because people don't know what they're talking about. Observe. Who looks the way that I want to look? They tend to be people who are lifting weights, sprinting. What are they all doing? Lifting weights. Let me do that, and then my body goes. I'm not going to listen to the person who does X, Y, and Z. I need to do this, but they don't look like what I want to look like. All right. So, what to eat? Fat loss is very simple. We've been discussing it. Calorie deficit. If you eat less than what you're consuming or what you require, you will lose fat. Doesn't matter about quality of food. Doesn't matter about timing of food. It doesn't matter what type of diet. It does not matter. All diets work because they force you into some type of deficit. You reduce total calories in some way. So like in keto diets, how are you reducing calories? You take out a whole food group. You just take out an entire food group. You're gonna eat less calories. Although some people still manage to eat excess calories on just fat and fries. In paleo, how are you reducing calories? So you're eliminating everything except real foods, which tend to have less calories, right? Like that's what we were doing back in the day. We didn't know why it was working, but it worked. We were just eating vegetables and meat. That was our guideline. If it's vegetables and meat, we'll eat it. If it's not, we're not going to eat it. There's not a lot of calories in vegetables and meat. You're going to get very lean. You don't need to track calories, right? So you can fill in that blank. What about blank diet? They all work like that. It's all about the amount of calories, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. And so one of the analogies that I really like. Let's say you entered a room and it was dark, okay? And this wall over here had like 1,000 shiny different cool switches, right? Light switches. They were cool. Some had glitter. Some had like giant like knobs and pulleys and intricate sorts of switches on this wall. There's 100 of them. And what you want to do is you want to walk in the room and turn the lights on. And you're over here looking at all these shiny different things and like trying them and whatever, and nothing's working. Meanwhile, on that wall, there's 3 switches. They're just boring regular light switches, like the one in the front. Just plain vanilla. There's no designs on it. But if you hit those 3 switches, all your lights will turn on. So this is the rule of the trivial many and the vital few. In everything you do, there's always 1,000 things that look cool and interesting and sexy that don't do anything. But there's a couple of boring things that will give you all the results that you want. For fat loss, the number 1 thing there is your calories. The number 2 thing there is strength training. And then the number 3 thing is good guess.
I'm guessing
Sleep.
Good guess.
Calories. Strength.
Good guess. Good consistency. So time. Time is your third ingredient. If you just do it long enough, stay in the deficit, and you strength train, you will turn on all the lights. The lights being your fat loss. Meanwhile, people are over here like keto diet, paleo diet, blah 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 blah. Like none of those are connected to the lights. Does that make sense?
well, to a degree, it does connect to the lights, because it forces you to discipline, right? And it forces you to do things that you know bad calories, calories, concentrate on bad calories. That's what diet is. Of course, you consume carbs, you get too much carbs, so, I mean,
You're right that if something gives you like our thing, meat and vegetables, it can. It gives you structure. So our guideline, meat and vegetables, it forced us to decrease calories without thinking about it. So yes, but the thing is, I'm over here thinking this is the key, but that's not the key. The key is the calories. It's working because of this. The reason it's important to understand that is we don't want to make moral judgments on food. There's no good food, there's no bad food. It's food. And that's a big problem of why people struggle. Your body doesn't recognize that you ate. This was a conversation I had on Instagram last week. This girl was like, oh my God, I ate Indian food, blah, 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 I'm going to get fat. And I was like, do you think that your diet knows that you ate Indian food versus American food, and thus it is now going to turn your body into a fat stored machine? And then obviously, like, she laughed because your body doesn't know that. What does your body know? How many calories you eat? How much of it was protein? How much water was in there? How many vitamins and minerals were in there? That's what your body knows. So all foods are made up of that. So it doesn't matter what you eat. If you can let go of this is good, this is bad, it becomes so much more relaxed. And then you like, if you eat a slice of pizza and it's like 300 calories, you can sit there and be like, man, that was a good pizza. But now it's going to be harder for me to get protein because I used up so many calories. That's good. That's okay. Like, so Alde's been like, he's in his cut. He has a deadline. He has 25 pounds to lose. And he's had events literally every week. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, like
This is important.
the past couple weeks, my father-in-law got married. We had an anniversary for my parents. So even December was the worst month. Well, right? This is the holidays, but I just say it's the busiest month. It's not the worst month. It's the busiest month. It's the most challenging month, but you can still overcome it, especially if you're on a calorie deficit and you're trying to lose weight. So the thing that you have to remember is, I always tell people, you shouldn't be partying every day. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, you can, but it would just make it more difficult for you to lose the weight you need. You just got to be mindful of what you're doing, because you control what goes into your body, right? You have a choice. There are people that will egg you on, be like, yeah, let's take drinks, guys, and everything. But it's your choice to accept it or not, and which one is more important, right? But nothing is bad. Going to events is not bad. I encourage all our clients to go and hang out, have fun with their families. I do the same, right? So what happens if you go over? It's not a bad thing. You just need to know how to adjust. So if you go over by 100 calories for that day so the next day you just go under, or the 2 days after that you go under, right? You go below. So it's like you have a calorie deficit to hit for the week, right? Rather than day to day. So that will make things simpler for you. And you can go even like, you got a calorie deficit hit for the month, right?
It's so stressful.
Yes.
The more you pound, the more stress you get.
So it's different for everyone, right? That's why you had to find the thing that you talked about, lifestyle, that works best for you. And there are different methods. That's why we love doing stuff like this workshop, so that we can educate and inform, so that you know your options. You don't have to stick to just one, but you should know what is the key to losing fat, which is a calorie deficit. And that, in essence, that's what you want to shoot for anything, right?
And going back to the big picture idea, right? Calorie counting is stressful.
It's miserable.
Makes you miserable. Now, instead of that, because here's the big principle. If somebody told me that, hey man, like I'm in debt, I can't make it, I don't know, like I'm constantly struggling with money, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, let's start tracking how much you're making, and then let's see where you're spending money. No, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to track where I spend money. What would you say to them?
Better job.
Well, good luck. Like, you don't want to look at the information so that you can make better decisions. So there's nothing I can do about it. The thing with calories, it gives you concrete information for you to make decisions that will give you the results that you want. So you have to do it. But you should understand how all of this works. And then my recommendation, you can never, it's very difficult for you to know how much calories food has. You can never track it. You just can't. I can't teach someone how to lift weights if I don't lift weights. Like, you just have to do it for a while. I highly encourage it. And now what I was getting at was like, okay, so you gave me 2 or 3 things about why calories having stuff. Give me something that feels better about calorie counting, like a statement about counting calories that is why it's helpful and why it's good. That feels a little bit better.
When you have a good meal and you know it's not crazy calories, and you still feel good.
That's good. I feel good just hearing that, and that's true. What else? That's a really good one. I didn't even think, that wasn't even the first one that came to mind. What else?
When you track the calories, you're in better control of the
Better control.
Oh, yeah.
The main thing is going off you. I just feel accomplished, like you, and feel in control of what you have. So there's no question that, hey, I did my work. So it reinforces the next day and the continuing path. Like, if something happens the next day, like if I weigh myself the next morning, I hit my calories the previous day, and my weight the next morning is up, I mean, like, that's fine, because maybe that's just like water or something. Because I did my part, that weight's gonna come down. So it just reinforces the path you're on.
You don't want it to be your life.
Correct.
So
Totally.
here's the thing. And I want to go down this path a little bit more. So that one was great. You can eat it, you can enjoy an amazing meal, and you know exactly how many calories, and it fits into your daily target, and you feel amazing because you're not depriving yourself. You know exactly the steps to take to get to your goal, and there's no stress, because as long as you follow the path, you'll get there. You're never restricting foods that you enjoy because you fit them into your daily calorie target. You can always enjoy family events or get-togethers with friends and coworkers because you're not worried about getting fat or feeling guilty for eating cake, because you know a slice of cake has 200 calories, and you can eat 200 calories. You can eat 400 calories, so you feel good because you can participate. You feel good because every night you can have a glass of wine, and you know it's in your calories, and you don't even think about it. And you can enjoy it versus sitting there like, oh man, I shouldn't drink this. I'm trying to enjoy my wine. Fuck it. And, you know, so talking about calories in those ways, do you feel better?
It's better.
Yeah.
It would be nice if somebody would be
It would be nice if somebody did the counting. My fitness pal. So, but my point with that is, if you just need to observe, do I feel good or do I feel bad? If you feel bad, don't start counting calories. It's gonna suck, and you're not gonna do it. It's not gonna work. But if you can take yourself to that, just keep reaching. Feel a good feeling thought about calories, a good feeling thought. Think about how good is it gonna feel to have 2 glasses of wine. How good does that feel? I know how many calories are in that. I work it into my day. I know I'm gonna enjoy my 2 glasses of wine. I'm gonna have 0 guilt. And 90 days from now, I'm gonna be at the exact look and feel that I want. How amazing is that? So if you do that and you feel good, how calories?
It's stressing out something. Right? You're stressing out. This is too much. Am I? Anything you do is stress. The stress a little bit to get with the off and off. I know that I can be successful when I'm encountering.
See, and so that's really good because this part of the equation is important. So we'll go into that real quick. 4 in 1 gram of protein, 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs, 4 calories. 1 gram of fat, 9 calories. Right there already we have a big piece of information. Fats have more than twice the amount of calories in a gram than carbs and proteins. Alcohol, 7 calories per gram. Just knowing that, plus 1 pound of fat requires an extra 3,500 calories. So 1 pound of fat is made up of 3,500 calories. So now you went over by 200 calories. Not even worried. You didn't get fat. Science has shown how much energy is required to create a pound of fat. So this is very important because it should eliminate, knowledge eliminates stress. If you are unsure about something, you're just constantly worried and like you never really know. But when you know and you have certainty, what feels better, certainty or uncertainty? We always just ask your question, what feels better, this or this? What feels better, this or this? You've done biofeedback. We've listened to our body. It's a yes or no answer. We go in that direction. For changing habits and behavior change, and just general like feeling better in life, it's the same thing except these feelings, good or bad. If it's a good feeling, that's the direction you want to go. If there's a bad feeling, don't reach for something else. Right? If you try to do something and there's bad feelings, right, and you feel bad about it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work out for your benefit, right? And it's not going to stick. That habit's not going to stick. So what we've noticed, this is why we always talk about your wins, be positive. What things are you grateful for, appreciative for? Because those things make you feel good, and those things make those habits stick more. Does that make sense? And so we're gonna get into some. These are some like practical keys. But I just want to go into real quick the thought process that I have, and then Alj can share his. And I guarantee you can see the similarity about this good feeling thing. So like, I track my calories every day. I have tracked them for 7 years now, and have 0 problem. There's days where there's been months where I miss, but I want to track it. And here's why. Man, it's gonna feel so good when I get to this point. Man, it's gonna feel so good to be completely shredded. It's gonna feel so good to lift this amount of weight. It's gonna feel so good to know exactly by what date I'm going to be able to accomplish this goal. It feels so good knowing. It feels so good to know I can go anywhere I want, eat anything I want, and sit there, laugh, have a good time, and I'm still moving towards my goal. That feels so good to me. That's what I think about, and that's why it works. What's your thought process?
It's very similar. So, one, I was like, for sure, he was the first one to start tracking food 7, 8 years ago, right? And then I would ask him, dude, what you doing? Oh, I'm tracking my food, and I'll see him weigh it out. And I was one of those people. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do that. There's no way. That's just too much work. That's so invasive. Like, oh, I have to stop. What happens when you eat outside? You have to bring out your scale. And then there's like methods where you can eventually, when you get really good at it, you can guess how much something weighs. It's really, really easy. It's, again, repetition, right? But how do you start? When you have that mindset of like, oh, I'm never gonna do that. It's never gonna happen. But when you just give it a chance, right? And then see how it makes you feel, like what he said. It felt really good to see weight come off or weight go up, muscle get on, because you're controlling everything. And so then you eventually go like, okay, like losing 5, 10 pounds goes into, I want to lose 25 pounds, but now I know what to do. And it's just like, if you talk about money or something you want in life, like I want to save $10,000. I want to save $500,000 for a house or a down payment on a house, whatever, right? So it's the same thing. It feels really good to sacrifice, like, okay, I'm gonna save this so that I can get my real goal. It's the same thing as calorie counting where, okay, I know how much I'm eating now, and this is what I'm gonna do. There are like methods where, okay, I might have an off day, I'll spend a little bit of money, I'll spend a little bit more calories today, but then you'll know, like, you'll get back on track the next day. It's the same thing. So you just have to change your mindset and really have your goal like really important to you, and then make the adjustments as you go through your journey. So that's why I started counting my calories, and I haven't stopped, because now it's like, it's nice knowing the data, like knowing the solid concrete. No way, like I don't have to blame my genetics. I don't have to blame anything, like if I'm ill or like going through something, and it's just there. It's just concrete data. It feels really good, right? So very similar in that.
And you know, again, like this is what I always keep emphasizing, because it's the key is like change your mindset, and we all hear about that. But how do I change my mindset? So literally the simplest thing is, if I feel good or bad. If I feel bad, let me start to think about things that make me feel good about the things that I want. My mindset will change, right? Practical keys. Jerk, just eat real food. Okay, that's what we did back in the day. It's way harder if you eat vegetables and clean proteins to gain body fat, and it's way harder, and it's like almost impossible to not end up at what weight is right for you if you just do that. Right? And when you're and even if you're tracking, it's so much easier because you're eating food that are ingredients, not that have ingredients. Because 4 ounces of chicken will always be 4 ounces of chicken and 100 calories. Nothing is ever going to change. Whereas if you have a giant plate of like pasta, you could have put 5 tablespoons of oil. It could be like extra sauce. There could be so many different variables, right?
Or a Big Mac.
Or a Big Mac. Well, we're gonna get to that at the bottom. But you know what are the ingredients, and so it's easy. And the combination of that, I think, is honestly a good place where, yeah, make most of your meals real food so that you're not really worried. And then, you know, okay, I'm going to give myself 500 calories daily to eat whatever I want. Maybe that means 2 pieces of chocolate and 2 glasses of wine. You don't need to count it every day. If you know this glass of wine has 200 calories, and you're going to drink 2 of them, that's your 400, and you're going to give 100 calories to chocolate, yeah, you need to track it again. You're eating the same thing, right? You're eating the same thing. Big one again. Don't make moral judgments on food. I can't emphasize that enough. Food quality has nothing to do with the weight you lose. It also doesn't have it, and I don't say this all the time. This is what I really believe and what I come to see. Also doesn't have anything to do with health. I know a lot of people who eat super healthy and they got a million diseases and problems. What the fuck is wrong with them? It's not the food, it's this. They are always worried. It's all the stuff we've been talking about. They're just worried about, oh my God, if I do this, if I drink this thing, I'm going to get cancer. If I do this, I'm going to get arthritis. You're going to get all those things. You can eat the healthiest food in the world, right? Meanwhile, when you've seen the pictures, or if you know people who smoked and drank a glass of whiskey every single day for their lives until they died at 103. Laughing. The stress is the biggest component. And if you live a stressful life, you eat all the health food you want. It doesn't come out. So a big part of that is don't make moral judgments on food. Enjoy your life. You'll get all the results that you want. So that's why I keep telling you, like, good or bad, do I feel good or bad? If I'm going in this direction of bad and I'm eating healthy, throw your healthy food away. Dump it in the trash. Go do something that makes you feel good. Because you'll get the results. Right? This one is important. Don't evangelize others about how you're doing it. Let other people do what they want. I think this is another thing. You get to talking to Sally, what's his face, and you're like, you ever had a situation where you're talking with a friend or somebody, and they have a different point of view, and you have a different point of view, and you guys come to a resolution? Well, as the conversation goes on, she gets more rooted in her opinion, you get more rooted in your opinion, and by the end of it, you feel like shit. Leave them alone. Let Sally do what she wants. The last piece, best piece, based on also what Alex talking about, it's actually never, what do you choose to look at? It's never been easier to get, quality food, get your goals, track calories. People talk shit about McDonald's. Like, I eat McDonald's all the time. I enjoy it. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I don't eat it all the time. I eat vegetables too. I enjoy vegetables. But my point is, like, I'm not gonna drive myself crazy trying to make the perfect meal. If I'm crunched on time, like, I'm just gonna stop at McDonald's today I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna taste good, so it's cool. It's gonna be the exact amount. Convenience stores, people say protein is the hardest thing to hit. No, it's not. Not anymore. Like, I can give you 40 grams of protein in one protein shake right there. And that's just like one option. There's a million options. There's options for people who are allergic to milk. There's options for people who really want vegan. But yeah, whatever the fuck you want, it's there. And so that's a beautiful thing. Grocery, airports, grocery stores. People say it's hard when they're traveling. Only if you don't know this stuff. Right? Okay.
You guys do cardio. Okay, run.
Why do you do cardio? What are the reasons for you to engage in that activity?
It makes me feel better afterwards.
Fantastic.
When it's
Beautiful.
over, and
Beautiful.
better more in my life.
There it is.
And struggle, work, and get to this point.
Yep.
Those are fantastic reasons
Brett?
to do cardio.
I enjoy running with the leaders. The other was enjoyable. The sense of accomplishment, getting to the end of it, long distance run, headspace that we get from it sometimes.
But then it's okay.
But you feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And so the big point with this slide is that cardiovascular activity, whether it's training or whatever, is good for you because almost always you feel better afterwards. And for your health, cardiovascular
Especially your
health
heart.
is very important. It's kind of in its trend right now to say, oh, I ain't running, I never run. Running sucks. Running is not a good reason, or running to lose body fat is not a good reason. Because it's not effective. You would, it's
It actually sucks my muscle.
it is detrimental if done to an extreme without strength training to muscle mass. It's not going to burn a lot of calories. So you thinking you ran 5 miles, you burned 7,000 calories, you did it. Activity doesn't. We already talked about the 30% of activity. It only accounts for up to 30%. So it's not even burning a lot of calories.
Like when you run, it's like miles at the end of the run. I know it's 8 miles to 2,000.
It's how much?
3,000.
So that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't. Calorie trackers are very inaccurate. They're not really telling you how much you're actually burning. So if your maintenance was just off the simple math, if your maintenance was 2,000, your calorie tracker said you burned 1,000 from a run, that means they accounted for 50% of your daily.
I was always wondering about that. I can eat half as much already.
And the answer for that
See
is
me
no.
burn, I run 20 miles.
And that's a
Correct. It doesn't add up, right?
and that's the thing that people kind of get confused on is like, even MyFitnessPal will automatically deduct exercise and people track their exercise. So it subtracts the amount of exercise and says, oh, you can eat another 1,000 calories. Oh, that's why people never get results. So if you decided 2,000 calories is right for you, go add back 1,000 calories from activity, right? So yeah, calorie trackers as of today suck. Maybe in the future they'll get better as technology improves, but right now they're inaccurate.
So the reality of it is calorie does not relate to food loss. Right? All the calorie is the amount of energy it takes to burn.
Correct.
That one thing. So that's only just because your food calories themselves is somewhat inaccurate because it's so this is the amount of energy it takes to explode this
Because
chicken.
there's so much more.
Explode a chicken in your body,
Yeah.
right? It builds down and grows down over
Correct.
time.
So it's a bigger process, much more complex than, all right, you ran 10 miles, you burned this many, right?
You created that amount of energy.
Correct.
It's got nothing to do with the amount of food that you burn off.
Good.
And as always, like I said, like simplicity is always key. Here's a simple one. Remove your association with exercise and fat loss.
Yeah.
There's two simple things. You exercise to feel good and become healthy and be able to do things that you want that you enjoy. And you eat the right amount of food to lose fat, right? Another thing is a good, a regular running cardiovascular system benefits your strength training. Because you're building the cardiovascular system for blood vessels and capillaries. That means you can get nutrients and oxygen to your blood, to your muscles, right? New muscle doesn't come built in with new arteries and blood vessels. You have to build that system through cardiovascular activity. The best type of activity to do to increase that 20 to 30% of thermic effective activity is what we call LIST.
Oh, that was good.
It's LIST. That just means low intensity, steady state. This includes anything where you're just moving. Okay? So walking, gardening, running, cleaning, playing, whatever, anything for this, dancing, any movement is LIST. That's not exercise, right? The reason why this is so good is because we know that just moving increases calorie burn, right? Because it requires energy to do this. So as long as I'm not doing things that are stressful to the body, I can move all day and I'm going to use up more calories. The cool thing is it's not draining my recovery, right? So if I go for a hard run and do a hard lifting session, that drains from recovery. If I'm really stressed at work, that drains from recovery. If I walk around and I walk around laughing with my little cousins and we're playing a game and I'm gardening or I just walk everywhere, taking stairs, that doesn't take anything away from my recovery, but it's still using calories. That's the best type of cardio to do. And that's called NEAT. Basically, that stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, right? Yeah, any thought on that? That was fairly straightforward.
For NEAT and LIST, they all go hand in hand, right? So don't think of like what we're trying to say is like everything that you do adds up to the calorie expenditure. So the more you do, the easier it is for you to lose fat. Again, your body will adapt to what you put it through. So if you sit on a couch all day, watch TV, what do you think you'll look like? It's the same thing, right? But you have to put a change, demand a change from your body. So if you want to change right now, you have to change your lifestyle right now, what you're doing. And you can do it little by little. So if today you feel like, oh, you are active, but your body's looking a certain way, you have to either change how many calories you're putting in or change your activity level so that you can expend more calories. So you have multiple choices. You can do both. You can do one or the other, but you have to do a change. That's it. If you really want to make that change for your body. That's all. Exactly.
I do that too, and another cool thing I found is like, since you have blood flowing, you have a better conversation, and your conversations are more productive because there's blood flow versus sitting there static, right? But two little notes on that. One about metabolism. So this whole thing about as you get older, your metabolism slows down. The real thing that happens for the vast majority of people, when they were young, they were running around, they were playing. When they were in school, maybe they did sport. And they were in college, they were still walking to the library, walking here, walking there. They didn't have a car at that time. So they were still like, they could eat whatever they want. But their list was super high. Then they got a job. They just removed all the steps that they were taking, walking around because they didn't have a car. Now they got some money. Got a nice car, you got a nice TV, remove more activity. Your metabolism went down because you removed the lifestyle that you had, not because you got older. So this happens all the time, and people think, oh, it's because I got older. Well, no, it's because you changed what you were doing. The 10K steps thing can be a game changer. Because even if you just have your iPhone, the health app measures your steps. So every iPhone, I think every phone now, tells you how much steps you're doing. And so it's a good goal to just be like, and even if you're not shooting for 10K, which I have a lot of people, this tells me their level of activity during the day. And I can see, oh, this person's not very active. 10K is a great place to shoot for. And if here's the thing with, as you decrease calories, you will notice a drop in your activity level. So your steps will go down. Because the body's very smart. It wants to conserve. So you'll be like, so if you can see that and you're like, oh, my steps are going down, and maintain that 10K steps per day, you will continue the fat burning process. Make sense? So we've kind of covered all this, and I want to get into like setting up the game plan. But you know, the big reasons why we've built muscle and strength. We 100% believe that, and we have the knowledge. We have a singular focus on what we want to be, not what is right now. I don't care about what is. All I care about is what will be and how good that's going to feel. We have a dedication to data, not feelings, right? Especially bad feelings. And that's kind of, you know, we've been talking about feel good, feel bad. Those are important. But not when it comes to like, I'm going to make decisions based on like, I think I kind of did this, kind of tracked it. No, we need data. And having data should make you feel good. Having that vision is what we're talking about. It's going to feel so good when? As if it's happening right now. Man, it feels good to sit down, have a long day at work, got my wine out, got my shot here. Maybe I got a slice of pizza tonight, I don't know. But I feel good, eat it, it's going to make my fat loss. Versus, oh my God, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm a terrible person. Which one feels better?
One more. That one.
All right. Get some paper.
Now, to put it all into effect, here, we're going to help you guys. Are you guys currently on the plan right now? On a program and a diet plan? Like a workout program and diet plan? Not a workout plan. Diet plan.
We're doing the 30-day, the whole 30.
Cool, awesome. Yeah. What day are you on?
We're on day 6.
Awesome. How do you, this is your first time?
I've never done this. But
Okay. How does it feel so far?
I don't know. I always feel like I'm creating something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I want to understand this.
Cool. Who's cooking? Okay. Like, cool. We say this all the time. Spices are the game changers, right? Especially on jerk. You have to look at your spices and change things up, which will help your palate. And so then people go like, okay, what type of spice? It depends. You have to play around. It's all, to have fun with it, right? But what's cool is you know what you're putting into your food. That's the big part. Good. So throughout the day, morning.
Yeah, you know, especially with bagels and milk and
Yeah.
chocolate salad running around.
Yes.
All of that. I just feel like, I
Cool.
wish I had this, I wish I had that.
Yeah. So it's awesome. So I'm asking them if they're currently on a workout program or a diet plan. They're during jerk and they're on the 6th day, day 6, right? Yeah. Yeah, whole 30. Yeah, which is pretty much jerk. And she's saying like, but I feel so hungry. Right?
I feel like I wish I could have something. I don't even know what it is. I feel like feeling some level of something. Yeah, just gives me
Like there's this craving that you feel unsatisfied.
Yeah.
For me, it's usually like I want bagels or like.
I am maybe not good sweet, but I think I'm craving carbs.
Other than lettuce.
But everything seems like no. I have most of it. Oh, this is not enough food. I haven't eaten.
And guess what? So part of that hunger, right? It's telling you where you have a deficit. So you're in the right. I think that's a good point. people want to lose weight and not feel hungry. You're gonna feel hungry. If you want to lose body weight and become smaller, you're gonna feel hungry.
Especially that feel more possible in the day,
So this will be cool. So let's. Are you guys eating like typically the same thing every day, or is it like different things?
I think our dinners most of the time are not small, the same throughout the day.
So same together, but not the same food every day, right? You think about the weed, it's the same
Yeah, I mean
food.
like on a daily basis, do you guys eat the same thing, or is it different?
Oh no,
every
different
day?
recipes.
So practicality. Well, if you have recipes, it's good. Sometimes they have the background nutrient. Here's gonna be my recommendation. Even if you're doing jerk, just track calories for that. Get to know how many calories are in 4 ounces of chicken. How many calories are in?
But then you also need to wait.
You do need to weigh it. But again, it's not perfect. But if you're making a recipe, like you should weigh it and measure it. Eventually, you get good enough that you can just like do it. But it doesn't take much longer, so that's why it doesn't take much longer. It takes like 10 seconds. I do other things that I want to do that take much longer than 10 seconds. So my suggestion initially is like, let's weigh and measure just so you can get familiar with calories. And maybe something that helps is food in advance. You know what you're going to make tomorrow. Take a couple minutes, search it up by ingredient, add it in. You get an idea. So let's start first with like, what should our calories be? And then we'll work back. What is your current body weight? So here's another thing. You have to be more conservative because you get to eat more food and still lose weight. Most people think that they need to automatically go to 1,200 calories. Which I would start with 2,000 calories. Yeah, you can give yourself a break. Let's say 2,000 or 2,100. And of that, your protein goal should be 200 grams. So if we remember our math, 200 times 4 calories per gram is 800 calories out of your 2,000 is protein. Now, we don't really care about your ratio of carbs or fats because your total calories is the same. But performance-wise, you want as many calories coming from carbs as possible. That's what's going to make you feel better and better performance, right? So a good rule of thumb is set your fat on the lower end and higher carbs. So I would put 50 grams of carbs, I mean fats, which would give you 9 calories. 450. So 450 calories are so, and then 750 divided by 4 calories is about 190. If you do that, you'll have a 1-ish pound, depending on how much you're eating prior, 1 to 2 times per hour per week for a very extended period of time, right? What do you wear?
I don't know.
So, see, that's the thing. Like, when you do that, how has it been? You think about that? Like, much of that. So, see, when you have data, you're in control. It's like, I don't want to turn the lights on in my room because I know there's a mess in here. But I can't clean the mess once I turn the lights on. And I want a clean room. What was it 4 months ago?
I think there was probably about 115 months.
Do you think it's more now or the same or less?
I would say more or less the
Same.
same.
We'll use the same. So, let's start with 1,800 to 1,900 calories. Do you have any idea how much you're eating now? So let's start with 1,800 to 1,900 calories, and let's go 120-ish grams of protein. I always say a range plus or minus 10 to 5. And then the same thing for fats. Give it. And your remaining calories. This is why I'm weighing it. I can tell you exactly. 120 grams is going to be 2 pieces. 120 grams of chicken is going to be about this much. So a little bit more.
2 breasts, right? 2 big breasts or 2 decent size.
So to me, it's easier to measure.
And exactly. And so, that's a good way to correlate if the chicken breast is like about the size of the head. But it's good to weigh it for yourself. You'll
pre-cooked or post-cooked?
As long as you track it the same. So when you cook meat, you lose about 25% of the weight in water. So if we cook 4 ounces of chicken, which has 25 grams of protein, and 4 ounces of chicken is about like that, you lose 25%. So if we cook it, it's going to weigh 3 ounces, but it still just has 25 protein and the same calories. So as long as you weighed it as raw and tracked it as raw, you're okay. And even still, how much calorie difference are you going to make if you messed up? Nothing. Negligible.
So 1 gram.
Yeah, so you'll be off by.
So 120 grams of protein.
So that gives us. You are going to
120 grams of protein.
Right. So that equals 80 calories. Yeah. So I mean,
You said that.
So you'll have about 200 grams of carbs. The reason she has almost 1 is because we need more protein. Alright, so same thing. If you stick to those numbers, you'll get about 1 pound to 2 pounds of fat loss per week.
So 120 grams of protein. See, everything times 9.
So there's your basis, right? Now you can plug in literally anything and everything you want. I feel like kind of what would, and you guys, this is a collaborative process. The biggest thing in setting up how you're gonna eat is to make it practical and convenient. You can do a variety of ways. What I do, don't ever planning is helpful for me, but the extent of my planning sometimes is like in the morning I just put in like how much chicken breast I need so I can get protein, and then I leave it at that. And then I just fill it in as I go throughout the day. I track it as I go. It's one way. Another way is if you plan it out a little bit more. So if you know what you're going to do tonight or for dinner, you can put that in, and then what do you want to eat? What things do you want to eat?
I want to eat bread and butter.